It's the Weather Xtreme video, the morning edition for Tuesday, the 30th of August. I'm James Spann. Alabama's weather looking nice and quiet for a while, but the tropics are very active, so let's dive in and check things out. The 500 millibar chart early this morning. That's the OZ data from last night. Upper high, a little north of the state. Down below that, we have a flow from east to west, so any isolated showers that pop up today will again move backwards, if you will, because of that configuration. The main westerly winds aloft are up in Canada. Kind of muggy this morning, although Fort Payne, they've cooled down to 64. Birmingham at 79. That's a 15-degree swing. We'll expect a high in the low and mid-90s in most spots today. Watch warning map, couple of flash flood watch areas well to the west of here. No organized severe weather expected today, but you can see a lot of green. That means kind of a soupy air mass over much of the continental United States, so a few scattered storms are possible, but organized severe weather not likely. Same thing tomorrow. And on day 3, Thursday, got a marginal risk over North Florida because of a good old TD number 9. And speaking of TD9, that's where the rain will be, the big rains with that tropical system. Central and South Florida on up the extreme Atlantic coast region. And you can see Alabama's just dry. This is the rain valid through Sunday morning. This is suggesting nothing for North Alabama, and a little bit with a few scattered storms down to the south, but even there, not much over the southern part of the state. Here's a higher res look at that. The bullseye is just west of Tampa Bay. And again, understand this will be gone by the Labor Day weekend. If you got a trip to Tampa or Clearwater Beach or Fort Myers, don't panic when you see this for the Labor Day weekend. It'll be out of here by then. The main effects will be tomorrow into Thursday. So let's look at our tropical situation. We have one hurricane, Gaston, and we have tropical depressions 8 and 9, and the wave that is coming off the coast of Africa. A chance that could get its act together in coming days, moving on a fairly low latitude track. Let's look at modeling on this thing. Tropical models, the BAM set picks it up, and notice it wants to take it north of the Leeward Islands and north of Puerto Rico and Hispaniola. Let's check the GFS ensemble. Almost all the members do the same thing, suggesting the wave coming off the African coast now will not affect the Gulf. If anything, it might be a problem for the east coast of the United States. But then again, it could recurve. And then again, this could be wrong. It is just really too early to know what this thing's going to do 10 days in advance. But it's just something to watch. But the early modeling data suggests this will not be a Gulf of Mexico problem. And this is the intensity guidance on our wave coming off the African coast. Most models ramp it up slowly and ultimately bring it up to Category 1 status in about 4 or 5 days. So long way out there, just something to watch. Gaston looking pretty good. Winds are at 100 miles an hour. That's a satellite estimate. Moving away from land, maybe affecting the Azores as a subtropical system down the line this weekend. Look at TD number 8. Pretty close to the Outer Banks, still very disorganized. The main issue is riptides and rough surf. That will kind of kiss the Outer Banks and then kick back out to sea in coming days. And again, that will be long gone for the Labor Day weekend in case you're headed to the Outer Banks. Tropical Depression 9, southeastern Gulf. Same thing. It's fairly disorganized. We do note a flare of convection overnight and still a fairly decent chance this becomes a tropical storm. We wonder if either of these will. If one will be Ian and one will be Hermine. Here's a look at the official Hurricane Center track. No change coming up through North Florida Thursday. And then kicking out to sea, long gone by the Labor Day weekend. Tropical models clustered tightly around the NHC track. Intensity guidance suggesting this could indeed reach tropical storm strength. But the main issue, of course, heavy rain for Central and South Florida and riptides and rough surf. But again, if you got a beach trip coming up down to the central Gulf Coast, this thing will be long gone by the Labor Day weekend. And really, Gulf Shores, Pensacola, they might not see a drop from this. Panama City, maybe. So let's look at the GFS. We'll talk you through it. This is today at 1 o'clock. The 06Z run, upper high, a little north of us, and down below that, Like yesterday, there could be a few very small showers today, very isolated, most spots dry, in the tropical system down in the Gulf. Tomorrow, no change. Highs low to mid-90s, lots of sun, the chance of a shower small. TD in the Gulf slipping north-northeast. And then Thursday, it begins to move to the more easterly fashion. And the GFS is a little bit of an outlier to the left. It's kind of got that broad center coming up toward Apalachicola. And then Thursday night, at just after midnight, it's got it approaching Jacksonville. And again, understand we are on the dry side. Look at the European. This is the European Thursday, and it's more toward the NHC track. It's got it coming in well east of Apalachicola. And if this is the case, even Panama City might not see any rain. But clearly, Panama City could see some rain with this thing on Thursday. The rest of the central Gulf Coast not really affected other than riptides and rough surf. But the surf will settle down by the weekend. And this is Friday. Tropical system is a little east of Charleston. Alabama dry. In fact, we should begin to see some cooler, I say cooler. Let me rephrase that. That's not the right word. Drier air. This is the upper pattern on Thursday, and you can see a trough over the eastern U.S. That's what's going to turn the tropical system out to sea and pull down some air that is drier. The dew point's coming down, and the humidity should be a little lower. That should set up a pretty good Labor Day weekend. This is Saturday. Dew points come down. Saturday morning, we should be in the 60s, and this is Sunday, and again, dry. And Sunday morning, the GFS showing 65 with highs only in the upper 80s this weekend. So that'd be nice if that verifies. And obviously, great weather for football. Auburn, Clemson, dry. Very pleasant evening at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Alabama out in Texas, they'll be dry as well. This is Monday. Same thing. Labor Day, we're dry. Latest GFS is showing 65 for the morning low, 86 for the high. I'm not so sure it'll be that cool, but still, it should be pretty pleasant compared to recent days because of the lower dew points. And a week from today, this is Tuesday, September 6th, troughing in the northeast. We've still got that 594 ridge. So again, looks uneventful, mostly dry, kind of hot. Here's the end of the forecast period. This is Thursday of next week, the 8th of September, and we've still got a ridge down below that. Got dry conditions here. Tropical system east of Daytona Beach. Could that be our wave coming off the African coast? Might be, but again, in fact, it probably is. But for now, suggesting it won't be a Gulf system. Numbers, you can see over the weekend, highs getting back down toward 90 Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and lows in the middle 60s Sunday and Monday morning. That'll feel pretty good, but the 90s come back, and you can see no sign of any really cool air, and it's just too early for that. Typically, the first really rush of cool air for the season comes in toward late September. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this morning. We'll have notes in the blog. Next video here by 4 o'clock this afternoon. You can't catch us this evening on the television side or the live stream, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.